Dr. Doom did nothing wrong. It's a sentiment that I've been seeing grow over the last couple of years, mainly from people whose favorite run is written by Tick and art done by Talk. No, we're close. He reduced Latveria's crime rate to literal zero, gave everyone the perfect life objectively, wants to make humanity prosper in 100,000 years. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to hold your hand when I say it. Dr. Doom is a pretty bad guy, and I hope to God I'm not the first one to tell you this. I don't even think you necessarily even need to read a Fantastic Four book to pick this up. Dr. Doom is synonymous with tyranny, ego, and villainy, and saying something akin to he's just trying to fix the world and not save it just kind of feeds into that veil of nobility he puts up. He wants to point to the quality of life he's brought to Latveria and say that he's doing it for the greater good, and so you fall for it, you dope, idiot, poopy face. While what he does is helping Latveria, and he does very much care for his people, at the end of the day, what he truly wants is power, because that's what makes Dr. Doom so interesting. He's a man of conviction. He cares for his people and wants power for himself at the same time. It's not a black and white thing because he truly believes that the world would be better if he was in control of it. He fully buys into that he's above it all, even godhood. That's what makes him so great to me and so many other people. It doesn't help that for the last couple of years, they've been really trying to push Doom with movies like Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars, Marvel Rivals making him the main overarching villain, Fortnite, and One World Under Doom being the large event that's going on at Marvel. Also, it killed Ackerman's Iron Man run, so I'm never going to forgive him for that. It's been kind of hard to get away from the guy. It sort of reminds me of the time DC really wanted you to know about Black Adam, having tie-in comics, Fortnite events, press tours.
For India versus Pakistan.
Janitor mops. Now, it's nowhere near as bad, but you get what I mean. It's the same spirit as they want you to talk about him, which I'm doing exactly that, and I'm feeding into okay, let's just jump into it. As per usual, I think the best place to start with a character is their first appearance and their origin. The Doctor, no, not that one, the other one. Okay, there we go. Would make his first appearance in Fantastic Four issue number 5 all the way back in 1961. From the start, we got a glimpse into his familiar characteristics. The art does a great job by painting him as this sort of game master where he treats the first family as pawns on a chessboard. We see his rivalry with Reed Richards begin, and he manipulates Namor by bringing up the suffering of his people and how the Earth deserves to feel his wrath. We get to see Victor's grandstanding, theatrics, and ultimately defeated because of his ego, which will become a pattern, trust me, but his real death comes later, when writers would expand his backstory, such as Fantastic Four Annual Number 2. Victor Von Doom was born to the Romani tribe on the outskirts of Latveria. His father, Werner Doom, was a doctor while his mother was a sorceress, so he tragically died early in his life, leaving him to be raised by his father in their small community, until one day a band of soldiers under Baron Vladimir Fortunov searching for Victor's father in hopes to find a cure for his sick wife. Alone and afraid, Victor begs why this happens to them, but the only comfort he finds is a villager who tells him, "This is the price we pay for being Romani." Sadly, Werner Von Doom failed to save the Baron's wife, leading the soldiers to destroy the camp. Victor and his father fled, but harsh weather conditions took the father's life. This very moment, losing his family out of pure cruelty against his ilk. The Baron making a judgment on Werner for being Romani, thinking he's some witch doctor, thinking he has a cure-all potion. Him being labeled as lesser, looked down upon for his heritage, would be the most important part in Doom's life. If you know anything about the history of the Romani persecution, you can see where this comes from. Doom grew up in a world that despised him simply for who he was. He wanted vengeance not just on his persecutors, but on the world. Young Victor was a prodigy, the smartest mind in Latveria, and even got a full ride to an American university, where he would meet his soon-to-be rival, Reed Richards. During his tenure at university, Victor would lock himself away, tinkering in his room at his otherworldly experiments. Reed would warn him, though. "Oh, there you are. Listen, fella, you'd better double-check some of these equations. You're off a few decimals in some places, and that could mean..." Doom simply belittled him and told him off. This would be Victor's undoing. He was engulfed in an explosion and was swiftly expelled from the university. his face now scarred, and went into hiding to find Tibetan monks. Yes, those ones. They're good at their jobs, okay? To hone his skills in the arcane, where they would create the perfect armor and help conceal his greatest mistake, becoming the perfect fusion of his technological might and arcane prowess. Soon after gaining his newfound strength, he would lead a charge with a group of armed insurrectionists, invading the capital of Latveria, and after the swift execution of Vladimir, cements himself as the new ruler of Latveria, avenging not just his family, but freeing Latveria from the shackles of their baron. As the ruler of Latveria, it would propel the country as a global superpower. Despite its small amount of influence, the technological might of Dr. Doom is too powerful to dismiss, and is treated as a genuine threat to the rest of the world. This was only the first step in his master plan, however, his plan of taking over the world as his one true ruler. But first, I think it's important to talk about Latveria and Doom's occupation of the country in and of itself. Oh boy, YouTube is not going to like this part, because I'm going to have to tiptoe around some big boy words and topics. I know everyone's favorite thing in the world, politics. Please stay on this video. Before Doom's coup, Latveria was akin to any other underdeveloped nation. Poor infrastructure, weak economy, corruption all the way down to the roots. But when Doom rose to power, that would all change, besides the corrupt government. Now, to give Doom some credit, unlike real-world, meanies, thanks YouTube, he leads an actual functional government, a thriving one at that. Nations will see Doom plotting world domination and look the other way because, really, what are you going to do to stop Doom? Put a couple of tariffs on his imports, he'll probably just improve your supply chain out of spite at best, or send a diplomat to the Jurassic era at worst. That's even if a country wants to retaliate against Doom, because nobody, and I really mean nobody, wants to go to outright war against Doom. A testament to his technological genius, Latveria, for being so small, is light years ahead of most of Earth. Hell, even he has an embassy on the moon as a kind of a flex. As well, citizens have an amazing quality of life, healthcare, an impressive education, a vibrant economy. Many actually give praise to Doom for how good of a leader he is. They love the man and would do almost anything for him. I mean, the guy has an army of Doom bots who are at similar strength to him and give superheroes a good fight. Due in part to Doom's Romani heritage, facing discrimination, Victor himself holds no ill will and doesn't implement laws that impede on minority groups.
Mutant scum!
Okay, everyone gets a pass. Have you ever met an X-Men? They all suck. As Doom sees everyone equally, all equally below him as his loyal subjects, and if you aren't, well, I have some bad news for you. Being Latvian is similar to being a pampered pet. Sure, you get all your needs satisfied, but if you ever dare to bite the hand that feeds you, you will soon face his wrath. Freedom of speech is a thing, alright, unless you want to criticize the government, Doom, or say that Mr. Fantastic is one smart cookie, then it's the closest work camp you go. Get ready to make Doom Funko Pops, buddy. The news is essentially a propaganda device that shows Victor as the benevolent god of a man who's graciously given you everything, even the TV you're watching right now. It's pretty common for journalists to be thrown into dungeons and have the key thrown out for just inquiring about the ruler. That amazing education I talked about? Yeah, well, let's just say they're gonna sprinkle in some generous thank yous to their leader. So you're telling me Doom is an authoritarian who runs his country like a machine built on propaganda and a cult of personality that's almost zeal. The great man theory made literal, a powerful genius shaping the world through his conviction alone. It kind of reminds you of someone with a very, very particular mustache that Alex Jones may or may not have right now. Now, while Dr. Doom would agree that comparison does exist, and then would immediately tell you why it's wrong. That guy was elected. Doom, on the other hand, earned his position by taking it for himself. He didn't trick the people into choosing him. He proved himself worthy to his people. From an early age, Doom was raised on the idea that merit and pulling yourself up is the only way to achieve in this world. And he believes he's the most capable person. He quite literally started from nothing. It helps that every time he's been removed from power, Latveria collapses into chaos until his return. But at the end of the day, He's a tyrant. If you ever think about speaking out against Doom, you're good as gone. If Doom was in the real world, he would be uttered in the same breath as many of the world's most heinous, despicable leaders. The kind that only gets defended by those weird kids in sophomore year who really want to play devil's advocate and play Hearts of Iron. But the wild part? Latveria isn't even the worst thing he's done. Like sending a kid to hell. Yep, you heard that right. While Valeria and Dr. Doom have a great relationship, they tend to leave out the reason why Victor is rarely invited to family get-togethers. Now, many who defend Dr. Doom tend to point out the time Dr. Doom saved Reed and Sue's daughter, Valeria, at birth. But with most things involving Doom, there's a catch. Secretly, Doom would whisper an incantation into the newborn's ear, making her into his familiar. Later on, while Franklin and his family are messing around in the lab, something goes awry as a blast of energy starts chasing the sun. Reed tries to teleport him to safety, but instead, a malfunction happens and sent the boy straight to the ninth circle. While this was happening, Sue noticed something off. Valeria's bright blue eyes turned to a brown and her very first words were Doom. It turns out that Doom was the one possessing her and used her to cast Franklin into the underworld, leading to the Fantastic Four to raid Latveria, but fail horribly because Doom was using his two children as a way to lure them into a trap, specifically designed for the first family. You know, pretty convenient thing to leave out when talking about Doom and Valeria's relationship, using her as a magical Bluetooth device to send her brother to hell. But people act that it was wrong for Sue to kick Doom's shiny metal ass because Valeria ran away when he quite literally used them as a bargaining chip is a little disingenuous. Right before Doom did all of this, he would try to rekindle his relationship with his childhood sweetheart, who had the same name, Valeria, as a ploy just so he can sacrifice her to make a pact, burning her down to her bones for a magical piece of plate armor that gave him a +1 to his spell save DC. Yeah, if you don't think naming someone else's daughter after an ex-girlfriend that you killed and then used her as a way to trap her family, red flags, then I don't know what to tell you. That's just with Earth. Past that, he's a genuine threat to the multiverse. In one story, Doom is given a tour of a utopian world where intergalactic peace has been achieved, a perfect quality of life for everyone, and all led by none other than that version of Dr. Doom. Though he isn't recognized by that name anymore. He's moved past that and his thirst for vengeance. He's able to averse the scar that he gave himself all those years ago and start his own family that he genuinely holds dear. He tells Doom that he fears that the Earth he's from is a dark reflection of his utopia, but he still has a chance to do the right thing. He can't fix the world by himself. He has to forgive not only himself, but Reed and admit he's right. But in that moment, Doom scoffs at that idea and strikes that version of Victor down, disgusted by the idea of giving that pest, Reed Richards, a nanometer of endearment. He grabs one of the many universal weapons and activates it, causing a chain reaction leading to planets, solar systems, galaxies, the whole universe to erupt into flames, silencing the lives of unknown quintillions in seconds. All because he was told to forgive Reed Richards. Let's not forget, I don't know, the entirety of Secret Wars. I mean, the time he betrayed a version of Doctor Strange comes to mind. That was pretty bad of him. Or when he created this panel that everyone passes around for aura points. Not really that bad. I mean, destroying Thanos is probably more of a good thing, but it gives annoying people ammo. So let's just put it in the same tier as sending a child to hell. As well, when he created a battle world with the Beyonders' powers, a world where your neighborhood could be right in the middle of Night City from Cyberpunk and Jurassic World. As well, in this world, he was a god and he had his own family with none other than Sue Storm. Which I know it's not the 616 version of Sue, but I don't know, making your wife any version of Sue considering the history is just, come on, man. When people say Dr. Doom did nothing wrong, it's usually because they're only engaging with the image he projects. A noble leader making the hard choices for the greater good. The same propaganda that he pushes for the people of Latveria. But beneath that metal image, he's an ego-driven tyrant, yet that contradiction is what makes him so compelling as a villain. I've been clowning on the guy in this video, but genuinely, I love him, and I see why so many people do. He's a charismatic badass in a suit of armor, and my first introduction to the character is Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and just listen to the voice lines.
I'll make you wish you were facing Magneto.
You gotta admit, that is pretty cool. Dr. Doom is a brilliant and principled man, but consumed by those very own characteristics that feed into his ego, believing that's why he deserves to rule the world. His ego is so big, he even calls Reed Richards, the smartest man alive, a dimwit. He truly buys into the idea that he's the cream of the crop. Even heroes sometimes admit that Doom's logic makes sense in theory, but that's exactly what he wants. Because once you believe it, you're already under his spell. He'll use that weakness against you before you can even realize it. Yet, every time he wins, his ego ruins it. Look at stories like Secret Wars, Doom 2099, and even the current event, One World Under Doom. Every story where he finally gets the power he's chasing, but it's never enough. He can't stop wanting more. He'll have his head on Mount Rushmore and stay completely under his control and die for it. Despite a lifetime worth of work, crumbles in mere seconds because his ego can't be satiated. He could be shown literal proof that the world could be better if he simply lets go of his ego, if he forgave and move on. He scoffs at that very idea because Doom's real goal isn't peace, it's validation. He needs the world to kneel to him as a supreme, and that need for validation will always be his downfall. Alright, before Latveria puts me on trial for crimes against humanity, let's wrap this up. Dr. Doom is one of the greatest villains in comics, not because he's misunderstood, but because he's convincing. He believes every word he says about saving the world, even when he's dooming it. His intelligence, conviction, and pride push him beyond human limits, and that's exactly what keeps him from ever achieving his dreams. Doom is not a hero. Even when he knows the world's imperfections are his own fault, he refuses to accept it. He can be the hero in his story, but never in ours, because he'll always put his ego first.